So in 2003, I don't even know how to say it, but my life changed in a matter of a couple of seconds, right? I went from somebody who had never gotten in trouble before to getting sentenced to 144 years. Nobody lost their life. Nobody was even physically harmed. But I was lost. I didn't know the legal system. My family didn't know it either. We didn't have the resources. We didn't have the ability to get the right type of attorney. Well, it happens every day. And that's why we're here now. We're here to tell the stories, the truths about what goes on behind those prison walls and those courtrooms, the fights that y'all don't see, that y'all don't know, things we've had to endure, things we've had to overcome, and the harsh reality of what we'll call the injustice system. Welcome to our world. Hear our stories. Hear our truths. Welcome to the voices. Like, Parker.
Yeah, you act like you don't know what this bump mean, nigga. You got that shit. Your shit's on close, huh?
Yeah, you just gotta grab the screen and pinch it like this.
I didn't have it like that.
Oh shit, they gonna serve.
Cuff and get busted.
They putting him back in the cell. Cuz trying to rape the man.
Oh shit.
What?
Cuff and strain their ass shut.
The man in there trying to rape the man.
And they trying to put the nigga back in the cell. Cuz saying that Sully trying to rape him, they trying to throw him in there anyway. Fucking whack it.
And shot the man all up.
What they doing now?
Damn, we gotta put something in front of that door.
Peace, peace, peace to the planet Earth, and welcome to the Voices series, episode 1. Unfortunately, we did have to reschedule our first guest, but I still felt it important to get up here, being that people have been asking for this. They've been asking for the opportunity to be heard, to be able to tell their story. I wanted to start off the beginning of this brief live stream with that video that was out of Oklahoma. A couple things about that video or about those videos. Shout out to the advocates, the freedom fighters, those that are really in the trenches. We get videos, we catch glimpses, we see things oftentimes that a lot of people don't unless they're living still in that environment. Specifically, I'm thinking about the guys, the men and women that are, going back and facing their fears, going back into the prisons, teaching and facilitating, mentoring to the men and women that are stepping up in General Assembly and, having to speak about past traumatic experiences by telling their stories, etc. Salute to each and every one of you. That brief video out of Oklahoma, another advocate sent me, is a glimpse. It's a glimpse of what prison is. It's abnormal. It's unforgiving and it's harsh. Specifically, what we were seeing in that video is an alleged attempted SA, and the alleged victim wanted to check out. He wanted to get out of the cell. He wanted to be able to just, not be in that situation. And evidently, again, just my assumption from living that environment, what I'm seeing, the guards didn't believe him and they shot him. They were shooting him with bean bags. And I can tell you by firsthand experience, it's not a good feeling. But I guess what the undertone or the undercurrent was that he was willing to take those shots before he was forced to go back in that cell and then eventually being let out. But that's the reality of prison. And a lot of times in those moments, we're not heard. We're not seen. And it just takes a few seconds for a situation that's bad to could become far worse. And that's what the Voices series is going to be. It's going to be an educational experience. It's not to highlight or glorify prison in the corny way that a lot of these platforms do. I'm just going to be the straightforward one to say it, because it's nothing funny about it. It's nothing commercial about it. It's real. We're here on these episodes. These, specifically, we're going to be talking about traumatic experiences, things that the individual survived and may or may not have had an opportunity to speak on. You're going to hear from individuals that were innocent, that went through a system and did, X amount of years before given an opportunity at their freedom. Salute to everybody that's coming in the room. Positive vibes only. Salute to the 40 strong. But yeah, this is what this is going to be. It's going to be that platform. It's going to be an opportunity, as my man Taj with the Humanization Project says, to amplify. I think that's how he says it. Amplify voices that are oftentimes not heard. I think it's key that we find strength and we draw strength from each other's stories. The goal overall is that when one person tells their story, it'll give courage to the next. And we build a track record. And just like we're seeing when it comes to the Commonwealth of Virginia, where a lot of times these stories are used for good, in different reasons when it comes to policy or showing why second chances need to be given, or maybe why the justice system needs to be overhauled, etc. But the goal is through these stories, through the collective of the voices, individuals that may, be going through certain, situations or trying to, survive traumatic, ordeals or feeling certain things. They'll be able to go to this channel, these channels, etc., hear the stories, and again, become courageous enough to tell their own. I cannot tell you guys enough, and I'll continue to say it. Do not underestimate your voice. Understand your value. Understand that there's power in your truth. And when you tell your truth, you free yourself of it. And you may be freeing someone else too. Real quick, I wanted to get into this, right? A quick story time. I thought it was key. I don't know. This story's been on my mind over and over again, and I have to share it. It's something that's impacted my family. It's a true story. It's tragic, but I want to tell this, and the hope is, when I tell this story, you guys can get a jewel from it and apply it and go forward, because this season, man, I'm telling you, you got to take care of you. You got to take care of you so you can keep going further in the fight. So the story, right? I want to get right into it. So my Uncle Mike was a beast, right? I'm out of Northern Virginia. Played football, very athletic, young man. He was 17, getting ready to turn 18 at the time. And it was summer, and my grandmother, she was on her way out. His mother was on the way to work, whatever. She told my Uncle Mike, she said, "Hey, whatever you do, don't go down. Whatever you do, don't go down to the lake, or excuse me, don't go down to the river." And, my Uncle Mike said, "Yeah, I got you, ma, da, da, da." She left. My Uncle Mike, he started getting ready. My aunt asked him, "Hey, where you going?" His sister at the time, he said, "Man, I'm going swimming, with my friends." So he went down to the river, even though his mom, my grandmother, had told him not to. But you know how we are, right? Summertime, it's hot. All my friends are out at the river. I want to go too. So like I told you, my Uncle Mike, he was a physical specimen of sorts, right? He was being looked at, on a college level for certain, athletics, etc. And when he was at this river, there was a boat, and it was kind of chilling. It was like, chilling off in the water, and it ended up getting capsized. And as the story goes, my Uncle Mike, he broke out into the water almost immediately. And there was 5 to 6 people on this boat. And I say 5 to 6 because I want to be as specific as possible. But as it goes, they said my Uncle Mike swam out, and he rescued the first person, which was a woman. He brought her back to the shore. Said my Uncle Mike went back. He got another woman, brought her back to the shore. Now he's swimming in the river and water. Nobody else has helped him. Nobody else has jumped in. And I got to remind you again, my Uncle Mike, he was a teenager, 17, getting ready to turn 18. He's a senior, right? He goes back out. His third person he rescues. You guys can look this up. Newspaper articles there. Another female. He brings her back to the shore. He's getting tired. He goes back out there. Now he goes and he gets the first guy, right? 4 people. He brings back this fourth person. He brings him back to shore. They say my Uncle Mike's tired, but there's still one more out there. Like I said, it was either 5 or 6, but I'm going to say 5 for the story. And they said he was tired, and nobody still made a move to assist him. They said my Uncle Mike went out there to get the last individual, the last guy that was at the boat. And when my Uncle Mike got there, the individual was panicking. And, he wasn't listening to my uncle. And my uncle was a lifeguard, and he was a pretty strong swimmer, etc. And I had a lifeguard. I got a job like the summer before that. And being that my Uncle Mike, as strong as he was, with this guy panicking, he started to pull him under. And the combination of the guy panicking and the current of the water pulled them both under. And the tragedy is they both ended up losing their lives. My mother would end up having to identify his body. And that was it. We ended up having to bury a loved one, a family member. But what I didn't understand now is what I understand now about that story, because then I only looked at it as a physical tragedy, the loss of life. And even then I didn't understand it because I was so young. But as I became older, I started looking at the parallels in life. And like I said, this is a season where you got to really start to take care of yourself if you haven't, so you can keep going further in the race. And when I think about my Uncle Mike, he was able to help 4 people, and he was able to get them back to shore. But when he got to that last individual, the individual wasn't, ready for his help. He wasn't able to accept his help. And in turn, it ended up taking him under as well. Uh, what I guess I'm trying to say is you can't save anyone, right? You can't help everyone. Uh, be focused on the ones that you can. Be mindful of your mission, of your purpose, but also be smart enough to know when to let go. And I think that's the jewel I got from that. Not just obviously in a physical circumstance, but it could be a relationship, it could be a situation, it could be a business, it could be a job, it could be just whatever it is that may be pulling you under. You may be able to survive the first 4 or 5 blows when it comes to something, but when it gets to that last one, you may not. Be smart enough to know when to preserve yourself so you can keep going. Shout out to everybody that's joining this live. Willie, 40 Strong, I gotta continue to shout you out, man. All the advocates, all the organizations out of the Commonwealth of VA. Sabir had said something. He said, "Yo, life, you're a solid dude." Appreciate that, brother. Definitely will, man. But yeah, hopefully you got something from that story, man. Self-care, self-preservation is key. You can't save everybody, man. You can't help everyone. And man, to my brothers and sisters coming home from the pen, the reason I say that, I'm watching a lot of people come home from the pen hanging on to the wrong people, places, and things and ending up going back or losing their life. Be smart enough to know when to let go. If it's a relationship, if it's a homeboy, if it's a block, if it's just an old way of thinking, because it's not always something physical that you can touch. It could be the way you're thinking. It could, let that go before it's too late. We owe it, and I'm speaking specifically to those of us that have survived the belly of the beast, that came back out, and we're here. We owe it to our brothers and sisters that are behind that wall to band together, to continue to grow, to be positive examples to society as to why our brothers and sisters should be given the opportunity to come home too. We should challenge each other the right way. I introduced an idea earlier when I was on a call, and I said people are always talking about the political process when it comes to what's going on and getting people home. And I said, hey, imagine if all of us challenged each other enough where we grew together and we formed our own political party. The former Prisoners of America political party. I don't know, but it's a thought. We are literally capable of doing anything when we come together. So salute to all the organizations, advocates, everybody that's standing strong, not just in the Commonwealth, but across the country. Salute to everybody that's been on this platform already. And salute to everybody that's reaching out via the DM. And of course, like I said at the top of this live, if you have been justice impacted, whether you've been incarcerated yourself, maybe you want to call in. Our last guest called in from behind the wall, had a great conversation, and was able to tell his truth, speak his truth about parole in Georgia. We got some more comments right here. People are liking the political party thing. Definitely. I believe that people are craving change. I believe that people are craving change too. I think, if I'm being honest, I think that a lot of people are scared to go through the process of change, or maybe they don't think that they're strong enough because it's something that has to be endured. Brother Willie says a powerful thought and idea. Hey, I'm telling you that they say 1 out of every 2 people in this country has been impacted by incarceration, either themselves or immediate family. So that's 50% of the country. So if we want our loved ones to come home, why are we relying? Never mind. Why are we relying on these parties when we can create our own? That's all I'm saying. But I don't want to go too far off into that tangent. Somebody had asked earlier too. Aside from that, if we're gonna, what's going on, Santia? What's going on, sis? Shout out to the SIP. You guys are doing heavy work. Everybody's doing heavy work out there in VA. But the other thing is, of course, we're going to continue to have organizations advocates, if there's different policies, laws, if there's anything that we need to be aware of on the legal side or the justice system or the injustice system, as a lot of us call it. You can also get on the platform as well. And also, we're getting ready to have our solitary no more, solitary confinement panel. So if you'd like to be a part of that, make sure you definitely DM. I know so far it's going to be me and my man Taj and a few other people up here. We're going to be speaking about the effects of not just doing time, but doing time in solitary confinement. I myself, unfortunately, know it a little too well. Haven't done over 3 years in the hole. So yeah, if you'd like to be a part of that, definitely DM me as well. Clicking on these comments. Guys, feel free to ask questions or put comments in the chat, of course. That's the right thought, right idea, the right motivation, King. Salute to 40 Strong, true indeed. Those closest to the problem are closest to the solution, the furthest from the power and resources. That's facts. Hola, Kirsten Knights. That's facts. 40 Strong, keep posting on the page too, man. I see you doing work, man. Other than that, before I bring this to a close, as a reminder, if you're in Georgia, we are doing a scholarship giveaway to anyone that's justice impacted, that's wanting to get a vocation, specifically at Lasting Layers of Beauty Institute, the school that my wife and I own. You can get a scholarship in either cosmetology, esthetician, nail technology, hair design, or instructing. If you like information on that, you can email me direct at thelifeunitinc@gmail.com, or you can DM me on social media. There's an essay, there's a couple other things like criteria, but again, you don't have to be somebody that was incarcerated. You could be the daughter, the child of somebody that's incarcerated, the spouse of, again. And for those of you that are like, well, it's limited to Georgia, you can do your first 250 hours virtually. So if you plan on coming to Georgia, or if you want to start your hours via scholarship and you're accepted, you can get a specific amount of hours that can transfer back into the state that you live in most cases, because they offer something called reciprocity. But yeah, not to go off on the deep end, but if you want information on that scholarship opportunity, definitely DM. Humanization Project appreciates your support. So those impacted by the justice, thank you for all you do. Thank you guys. Thank you. Shout out to Humanization. I'm grateful for the opportunity, the people I'm starting to meet in this season. I'm grateful for all the people I've met along the whole journey, but I'm always encouraged when it's like, okay, I'm stepping into a new room. And the Humanization Project, definitely got to salute to them, shout them out. Been able to do some things and help them, and they're definitely a voice when it comes to advocacy and all the things that need to be done on our side. Salute. I got to do this too, man. One last thing. Salute to all our poets, songwriters, and artists. If you got a loved one that's incarcerated and they want to submit any poetry, spoken word, or if they want to call in and do their spoken word over the phone, poetry, sing a song, etc., want to start offering that up here as well on the platform, because creativity is key, and that's just something else we want to add. That's it. I think that's all, man. Like I said, we had to reschedule our guests, but I wanted to make sure I hopped up here, made good of our word, because we definitely appreciate each and every one of you that taps in with the platform. We'll be back up here Tuesday with Advocate Anna Quinones from Georgia, who she's definitely a freedom fighter. She's a change maker. We still got people coming into the room. What's going on, Denise Scott? Blessings to everyone. And of course, before I go, matter of fact, let me put this up. There's the email, y'all. Connect, network, build, and be a part of. Be a part of change for sure, but I'm building a team. I'm definitely building a team for the Life Unit Inc. More information coming soon. So if anybody definitely wants to be a part of that, please DM. Got some ideas. Shout out to Francis, Miss Ross, Hola. And that's about it, guys. I appreciate y'all as always, man. Spread the word. Spread the word. Like, share, comment. Help us continue to push the message out in the algorithm, out in the world. And remember, it's not my platform. It's all of our platform. Let's continue to grow. Let's continue to tell our truth. Let's continue to make change. Until next time, peace.